What is cracking, guys? Omar Isuf here. In this video today, we're talking about building muscle. We got to talk about building muscle. It is the #1 topic, but with the new twist. I talked before about nutrition, how most likely you're not eating enough. No shit, Sherlock. Today's video is more about programming and training. What I see a lot of people do, the errors, and the 3 simple tips. If you're not building muscle, or you're not building muscle the rate that you want, what you can do about it. Let's start. Point #1 has to do with rep ranges, right? A lot of guys will stick to 6 to 12. Why? Well, when we look at what causes hypertrophy, mechanical tension, muscle damage, and as well as metabolic stress, those 3 primary factors, it's a good catch-all, right? Jack of all trades, that rep range seems to do most of the work. However, if in some way you're not also training for strength, 1 to 5 repetitions, you're limiting your gains. Yes, you are limiting your gains. How? It's quite simple. By training for strength, you're going to help potentiate future hypertrophy gains. And here's what I mean. I use that classic example. Just think about mechanical tension, the load you're placing on your body. If you do 135 pounds on that bench press for 10 reps, that 3 by 10, is that going to produce the same result as 225 pounds for 10 repetitions? Clearly not. Strength should be, for everyone, even if your goal is just hypertrophy, one of the major goals that you have, because strength will help potentiate future gains. I talked about that already, but what I didn't talk about in my other video, higher rep ranges. Yes, higher rep ranges. You might be thinking to yourself, higher rep ranges, what am I? I'm doing cardio with the weights. It's about lactate threshold. Everyone has experienced it. You know, when you're doing a high rep set of squats, what does it start to feel like? It's not that you can't move the weight, it's that there's a lactic buildup, which, you know, your legs start to feel like they're burning, that sensation, oh, I can't do another repetition. It's not mental, right? It's not that you're not strong enough, you just don't have that capacity. And if you don't train in that upper rep range, right, 12 to 20 repetitions, you might notice in the lower reps, right, your hypertrophy range, 6 to 8 reps, that you burn out, right? The muscles get fatigued too easily. So increasing that by increasing your lactate threshold, doing high rep ranges will help with your capillary density and prevent that lactic buildup. Big #1 tip. #2, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about volume. If you're not doing sufficient volume, a lot of guys are doing powerlifting programs now. Maybe they don't have enough total working sets. If you're doing 6 to 7, 6 to 8 total working sets, that's simply not enough. If you look at your total training for the week, and in total throughout 3 to 4 training days, you do maybe 30 sets for your entire body, that's not going to be enough training volume to produce that stimulus, that forcing your muscles essentially to grow. So what I would say, take a look at your total training volume, what you're doing, and maybe add in a little bit more work. Everybody's unique, right? Genetics, age, training history, where your goals are, your overall stress, so what you can handle will certainly be factors. But when I take a look at programs and people say I'm not building muscle, it also usually comes down to total volume. The last point is a point that also applies to me, applies to everybody, time. You have to give this time. And yes, I know that sounds simple, but when it comes to hypertrophy, after you're a beginner, you know, I've gained 25, 30 pounds in my initial 3 to 4 years, it takes a while. That normal cycle, if you judge your training volume, what you do based upon what month and what time of year it is, that's not going to be optimal, right? 6 to 7 months for a lean mass phase, you're going to need more like maybe 12 to 15 months. It's that slow grind. Think about it like this. After your initial 25 pounds, if you could only put on 5, maybe 6 pounds of muscle a year, that's about half a pound every single month. You got to extend your lean mass phase. No longer are we going to do the 3-month bulk, 1-month cut. You have to extend that a little bit longer. And being it for the long haul, yes, that might mean for one summer you're fluffy, but it will be worth it. 3 big tips, the 3 most important ones really I see. We talk about rep ranges, we talk about total training volume, we talk about total time spent in a lean mass phase. You can't do that concurrent training, right? Where, oh, I want to get jacked and I want to get lean. You know, if you're not a beginner, it's not going to work for you. It's just not going to work. Do this and you will notice more results. In that comment section below, I want you guys to post the biggest tips that help you pack on slabs and slabs of muscles. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like the video, and I'll be seeing all you guys, my rascals, in that next video. Peace.